Physics Part 425. So we conclude chapter 15, nuclear physics, and now we reach chapter number 16, communication. Chapter number 16, communication. The ability to communicate is a gift that human children learn at a very early age. Human communication may be sophisticated speech or simple smile. Animals can also communicate. For example, whales and dolphins communicate using high and low pitched sounds that travel through water over many kilometers. In case of humans, the ability to communicate has been developed and extended in very short time intervals. This chapter looks briefly at some aspects of communication in modern day world. Amplitude modulation and frequency modulation. This is our section 1, amplitude modulation and frequency modulation. At the end of section, you should be able to understand the term modulation and be able to distinguish between amplitude modulation, AM, and frequency modulation, FM. You should be able to recall that a carrier wave amplitude modulated by a single audio frequency is equivalent to the carrier wave frequency together with two sideband frequencies. You should be able to understand the term bandwidth. You should be able to demonstrate an awareness of the relative advantage of AM and FM frequencies. Modulation. For any system of communication, there must be a transmitter and a receiver. A simple system could be one person speaking to another. One person is the transmitter and the other is the receiver, and the communication system is sound waves. An alternative system, if the two people are in different rooms, is a microphone connected to a loudspeaker by means of twin wires. The microphone converts the sound wave into a varying electrical signal that is transmitted along with the wires to the loudspeaker, where it is converted back to the sound waves. Communication of speech could also be achieved using radio waves. The signal from the microphone would be amplified and applied in an aerial. The radio waves produced would then be picked up by a receiving aerial. Another amplification. The received signals would be passed to a loudspeaker. This simple system is shown in the figure. The simple system has two serious disadvantages. First, only one system could operate in an area because the receiving aerial would not be selective. It would pick up all signals. Second, the aerial required for the transmission of the low frequency of sound waves, about 20 Hz to 15 kHz, would be very long, and electrical power required for the transmission over long distances would be very large. These problems are solved by the process known as modulation. A high frequency wave known as carrier wave is transmitted. This high frequency carrier wave has either its amplitude varied or its frequency varied so as to carry information. This is illustrated in the figure. In amplitude modulation, AM, the carrier wave has constant frequency. The amplitude of the carrier wave is made to vary. These variations are in synchrony with the displacement of informational signal.